Sophie had sugar daddy.
Who said that?
I don't know the details, but I know that he's like a rich guy.
Really?
And he's like banging her.
It's not you, bro.
I'm sorry.
You're
I ruined your marriage.
The one that Rob ruined my marriage.
It's all bull from her.
Do you feel that you should move forward with a divorce?
The answer is yes. Please God, these two need to end this. Now, as we're well aware, Rob and Sophie didn't make it through the last resort, right? Sophie dumped his ass during the final recommitment ceremony. But after all of that, despite her pain, the breakup is definitely looking good on her.
I feel great. I feel really good.
Yeah.
I feel like just in general, I'm a lot more like confident and like I've been on this like self-love journey since the retreat and I'm just feeling good about myself.
Sophie's definitely not exaggerating here. In fact, she took to social media in December to announce to the world that she'd lost 30 pounds since filming. How did she achieve this? Well, apparently not through Ozempic, unlike many. Her quote-unquote self-love journey included eating well, working out and focusing on her mental health. And that routine appears to have done wonders to her confidence. But then again, her new boobs may also be playing a role in that. But the million-dollar question here is, if they've broken up, why exactly did Sophie feel the need to show her ex her new boobs?
Do you want to see my boobs?
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. You
Let's
asked
go. Okay. You ready? You ready? They look good?
Yeah. Damn.
So, while the cast all laugh and joke about just how much Rob seemed to appreciate Sophie's new assets, the fact that Sophie chose to do this just proves that she can't seem to let Rob go. She still wants him to be attracted to her, to think about her, and to literally see what he's missing out on.
I feel like she's trying to be her best version of herself now.
A revenge buddy.
Oh, now that we aren't together, here's something that would be, you would love it, but nah.
Now, keep in mind that Sophie has been very honest about how her self-esteem issues related to her body made her feel insecure in the bedroom. So now that she's had her transformation, I don't think it's that much of a surprise to learn that her sex life has also improved as a result. I mean, as we know, Sophie and Rob were in a sexless marriage for as long as Gino and Jasmine were, and yet since leaving the last resort, the pair have been intimate with each other quite a lot.
We ended up hooking up that night and then afterwards we just had sex. And I mean like a lot, and it was really good. It was really good and we had sex for months,
So it turns out, who would have thought it, that the combination of feeling good in your own skin and not arguing with Rob every second of the day can do wonders. But unfortunately, all good things must come to an end. You see, Sophie reveals that because they were in such a good place, she could feel herself, she stopped herself from catching feelings for Rob again.
And it got to a point where I'm starting to want to go back with him when I know that's not the right choice. So I think then we were both Rob agreed, yeah, let's just stop.
There's a part of me here that's quite proud and shocked at how mature Rob and Sophie seem to be with each other. It seems like the impossible may actually have happened. They're both on the same page, they've communicated well, and they're both able to laugh about it. They're laughing together. It's a shame that they've had to break up to get to this point, but it is good to see. But as they go on to talk about the people that they've dated since filming, it very much sounds as if Rob has just found a direct replacement for Sophie.
She was British. She found another girl that was just like me.
I'm gonna be honest with you, her being British was not a green flag for me.
I mean, at that time when I found out we was having sex, I was like, ow, my feelings.
Sophie admits that, yeah, she did get a little jealous about this new girl. But, as it turns out, Rob's dating life is nothing in comparison to her own. You see, with a bit of prompting from Rob, Sophie goes on to share an insane story about two people she dated after Rob. The first being a single father, and the second being a single mother. Only little did she know,
the guy she dated was the baby father of the girl she dated.
Now, for as crazy a coincidence as that is, right, it is interesting to hear that Sophie is now openly dating women. Remember, despite being honest about the fact that she is bisexual, Sophie had never been in a relationship with a woman prior to marrying Rob. So now that she's single, she's not holding back. She's actively exploring that side of herself. So the question then becomes, if Rob and Sophie are no longer having sex with one another, if they're both dating new people, what exactly does that mean for their marriage?
Do you feel that you should move forward with a divorce?
I do think that's something that we're going to do because it's inevitable.
Again, they're both being very mature about this, and the truth is, that piece of paper, the marriage contract, does appear to be the last thing that's actually tying them to one another. So in order for them to move on, they will need to file that paperwork. Now, will that be easy? Well, no, it's going to be full of emotions and memories. It's going to hurt them both, right? A divorce is a painful process, and as Sophie actually admits, to this day, Rob is still the first person that she wants to call whenever anything happens to her. But, she admits, I know that divorce is the right thing to do here.
I think once we are divorced, we can like fully move on, because I think even in both of our minds sometimes it's like he's still my husband. Like when I fill out forms and stuff, it's like married, you know?
Now, as Sophie opens up about how hard she's going to find it to sign the dotted line when that day eventually comes, guess who decides that now is the perfect time to chime in? Natalie. Of course, it has to be Natalie, doesn't it?
I do not give a
She seems incapable of ever reading the room, and let's not forget, A, she's had it in for Sophie since the very beginning, and B, she seems to have her eyes on Rob.
And Rob is a great guy.
Thank you.
You deserve good stuff.
I appreciate it.
I believe Sophie also might be a good person. Just lost a little bit.
Sophie might be a good person. Damn, Natalie, that was so underhanded. Don't get me wrong, Sophie's definitely not perfect, but I don't think it's up for debate whether or not she's a good person. Especially by Natalie, of all people. What, is she trying to be holier than thou? Natalie's had more divorces than anyone else on that stage. Are we just supposed to forget how she treated Big Mike? Like, that just felt totally unneeded. There was no need for Natalie to butt in here. And now, as a result of Natalie, as a result of her integrity as a person being questioned, Sophie is forced to have to stand up for herself.
To say that he's a good person and maybe is a dig when it's unnecessary because we're trying to be mature in the situation.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I don't know.
Yeah, backtrack and maybe close your mouth and keep your crazy for your own segment, Natalie. Now, it's at this point that Sean wants to address some rumours that were, if you believe it, accidentally, but more likely than not deliberately, started by Jasmine when she apparently thought that the cameras weren't rolling during filming for Between the Sheets.
Sophie had sugar daddy. She told someone and that person told me. I don't know the details, but I know that he's like a rich guy.
Really?
And he's like banging her.
Now, first things first, there's no way that you can convince me Jasmine didn't know exactly what she was doing here. She knew that she was being recorded. Now, of course, the irony shouldn't escape anyone that here she is gossiping about a potential sugar daddy relationship when she, of all people, knows that all too well firsthand. She met Gino on a sugar daddy dating website, right? But she tells Julia that she doesn't quite know the details, but she knows that a rich man has been paying for Sophie to travel around the world. Now, while she doesn't reveal how she knows this information or who told her, she can't quite resist the temptation to have a quick dig at Rob.
Who is the guy she's talking about?
My 93-year-old sugar dad.
What? Is it a joke?
Yes, it's a joke.
Obviously.
Okay, I was like,
British humour, people. No one seemed to get it, but that was just sarcasm at its best. Deadpan sarcasm. Sophie is trying to deflect away from the accusations by exaggerating them and trying to make them sound preposterous. Now, she does go on to state clearly for the record that no, that is not true. But if that's the case, where did Jasmine get that from? What caused her to say it with such confidence? Well, I think the clue might lie with Rob. Just look look at him sitting there fuming. You see, he thinks his arch enemy has taken what he's said and is just twisting his words.
I'll tell you exactly where she got it from. And the conversation turned into her asking me, oh, so Sophie doesn't live with you? I said, no, she hasn't lived with me in a while. She said, how does she pay for things? I said, I don't really know. She said, you think she has a sugar daddy?
So it sounds like, in fact, maybe Jasmine had heard that rumour from elsewhere and was just trying to dig for information from Rob. Now, whether that's true or false, Rob is convinced that because he couldn't confirm or deny whether Sophie has a sugar daddy, Jasmine has essentially taken a tiny breadcrumb and run with it. She's invented a rumour, and that, as if he needed any more reason to hate Jasmine, has just set him off again.
It's not cute, bro. That ain't cute.
Sorry.
You're
I
poison.
ruined your marriage.
I won that Rob ruined my marriage.
It's all bull from her.
Now, while it does definitely seem like Jasmine is at fault for this rumour, she's the one that's been spreading it and probably started it. Keep in mind that the rumour itself is about Sophie. Sophie's literally sitting next to her and doesn't really seem to mind. So why is Rob getting so riled up? It's questioning Sophie's character, not his. And yeah, it's at this point, perhaps keen to avoid another flare-up, that Sean decides to move away from Rob and Sophie. Now, the fact that she promises to come back to them later, I guess in the next episode, makes me think that we haven't heard the full story just yet. I think there's still some juicy information left for us to learn about Rob and Sophie. Question is, are we going to be able to get to that information before Rob and Jasmine go at it again?